getting out of bed feels like a battle these days. If your knees are stiff, your arms feel heavy, and your legs don't move quite like they used to, then maybe the answer isn't in a bottle of pills, but on a plate you fill each morning. It might sound surprising, but the first thing you eat each day can quietly shape how the rest of your body behaves. Not just in that moment, but across the hours, days, and years that follow. Because when your muscles ache, your joints protest, and your balance feels off, most people assume it's just age knocking on the door. But often, it's a signal. A signal that your body is running low on the raw materials it needs to function well. And what if, just by adjusting your breakfast, you could start supplying those missing building blocks, naturally, deliciously, and in a way your body understands? We're not talking about expensive powders or complicated formulas you have to Google to pronounce. The truth is simple. There's a fast, delicious, and surprisingly effective way to bring back your strength, regain ease of movement, and start doing things you thought were long behind you. Like getting up on your own, walking with confidence, or even buttoning a shirt without help. The secret: 5 humble food combinations you can find at your local grocery store. But when combined with intention, they work together like a team, restoring what time has slowly taken away. And more than that, they help you grow older without feeling old. Because aging, at its best, isn't about avoiding wrinkles or chasing youth. It's about vitality, mobility, and the quiet, joyful sense of being able to do what you want, when you want. In this video, you'll discover the breakfast choices that have been quietly transforming the lives of people over 60, helping them rediscover a version of themselves they thought had faded. And the best part? It can all begin tomorrow morning, with a simple, tasty recipe and just a bit of curiosity. Shall we? Let me tell you about Clarice. She's 72. For years, waking up felt like opening an old, rusty door. Everything stiff, creaking, aching. Getting out of bed was a fight she dreaded every morning. Sometimes she would sit for 10 minutes just waiting for her knees to wake up. One morning, while flipping through an old health magazine her daughter left behind, she came across a simple breakfast idea. It didn't promise miracles, just nourishment. She figured, why not try? She swapped her usual toast and jam for a bowl of oatmeal, topped with fresh strawberries and a sprinkle of chia seeds. Within a week, she was smiling and saying, I feel lighter, like my body's finally working again. Now, was it magic? No, it was nutrition. Real food, made with care. You don't need to understand every nutrient to feel their power. But here's what we know. Oats are rich in soluble fiber, which not only keeps digestion smooth but helps regulate blood sugar and provides long-lasting energy. No sugar spikes, no crashes. Strawberries, apart from their beautiful color and sweetness, are packed with antioxidants, tiny compounds that help fight inflammation, which is at the root of most joint pain and stiffness. And chia seeds? They may be small, but they're mighty. Full of omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, and even protein, chia seeds help everything inside run smoother. Like oil for the engine of your body. The best part? No stove needed. Just mix it all with warm milk or yogurt, and you're good to go. If you want to age without feeling old, you've got to start your day with the right spoon. This became Clarice's little secret. Today, she wakes up without that sharp back pain that used to force her to sit on the edge of the bed before standing. And best of all, she makes it herself. Quick, easy, and empowering. It's more than just a bowl. It's a small act of self-respect. If you've never tried it, here's how to start. 3 tablespoons of oats, 5 chopped strawberries, a pinch of chia seeds. Mix it all with warm milk, or yogurt if you prefer. Then take a seat. Eat slow. Let your body receive the care. Because this small habit, it's like a gentle push toward a longer, healthier life. And it's just the beginning. Let's meet someone else. Mr. Rodriguez is 81. He used to be full of life, spent hours tending to his garden, pruning roses, pulling weeds, planting tomatoes. But with time, his energy started to slip away. He didn't feel like himself anymore. So much so, just thinking about going outside made him tired. His daughter noticed and suggested he try changing his breakfast. At first, he scoffed. What can a breakfast do that my vitamins can't? But he gave it a shot. He added a little strength to his mornings. A couple of hard-boiled eggs, a scoop of mashed avocado, and a slice of whole grain toast. It might sound too simple, but this combo gave him something no doctor had ever promised: the desire to get up and do things. A month later, there he was, smiling, trimming his rose bushes like he used to. Living life, not watching it pass by. Let's break it down. Eggs have been a kitchen staple for generations, and for good reason. They contain high-quality protein, all 9 essential amino acids, and are rich in B12, key for energy production and brain function. When you pair eggs with avocado, a natural source of healthy fats, potassium, and magnesium, and whole grain toast, which brings steady-release carbohydrates, you're not just making breakfast. You're rebuilding your body's foundation. That firmness in your legs, that balance you feel slipping away with time. This breakfast helps bring it all back. And if you've ever been afraid of falling, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This simple combo, it tells that fear, not today. The nutrients in these foods support muscle repair, nerve function, and bone health, which means more strength, more confidence, and more safety. And the best part, it's ready in under 10 minutes. No blender, no stove, no fuss, just fuel. Want to try it tomorrow morning? Here's all you need: 2 boiled eggs, a half an avocado, drizzle a bit of olive oil on top, 1 slice of whole grain toast. Want to make it even better? Add a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon to the avocado. What does that give you? A breakfast that supports stability, energy, and a brighter mindset. Because when your body starts the day strong, your mind follows. That's what aging with grace really means. Reclaiming your body's trust, one breakfast at a time. And speaking of soul-soothing breakfasts, you know that smell? That warm, comforting aroma that brings you back to your mother's kitchen? Bone broth. It's made a comeback, and not just for nostalgia. There's something deeply grounding about a food that feels like home, and bone broth is exactly that. But now science is catching up to what generations already knew. This warm, golden liquid is more than comfort food. It's healing food. Let me tell you about Mrs. Murphy. She had always been social, a smile on every corner, a story for every occasion. But in recent years, her world had grown smaller. She stopped visiting her neighbor, stopped going to the store. Not because she didn't want to, but because her body felt too heavy. Her joints protested with every step. Even lifting a teacup had started to feel like lifting a weight. Then one chilly morning, she dusted off her old soup pot and made herself a warm pot of bone broth again, something she hadn't done in years. This time, she added pumpkin seeds and fresh spinach to the mix. Just 3 weeks later, there she was, lipstick on, smile wide, walking through the gate to have coffee with her old friend. Because some foods care for us in ways no medicine ever could. Let's break this one down, too. Bone broth is rich in collagen, gelatin, and minerals like calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. These nutrients nourish your joints, your skin, even your gut lining. It's like sending repair crews to the areas that time and wear are damaged. The pumpkin seeds are little powerhouses. They're packed with zinc, magnesium, and plant-based protein, essential for muscle maintenance and immune support. And spinach? It's not just iron. It contains vitamin K for bones, lutein for the eyes, and folate for cell repair. The magic is in the mix. You're warming the body from the inside out, while quietly giving it the tools to rebuild itself. And it's easy to make this part of your routine. You can make a big batch and freeze it in jars or ice cubes. Warm it up before lunch or sip a cup mid-morning when your energy dips. Suddenly, your whole day feels different. Want to give it a try? Here's a practical tip. Grab some bones. Chicken works great, and it's mild in flavor. Simmer them in water with onion, garlic, a bit of salt, and even a splash of apple cider vinegar to help draw out the nutrients. Let it cook slowly. 3 to 4 hours is perfect. When it's time to eat, toss in a handful of fresh spinach and a spoonful of pumpkin seeds. You can even add a dash of turmeric or a few slices of ginger for an extra anti-inflammatory boost. It's comforting. It's nourishing. And for anyone who wants to live long and strong without relying on pills, this is a small, beautiful step in the right direction. Because aging with dignity also means rediscovering the joy in the little things. Like the next story I'll tell you. There's a woman who once told me something I'll never forget. She said her grandson saw her stand up from her armchair on her own after weeks of needing help. He looked at her and said, "Grandma, you're strong again." That moment meant more to her than any number on a lab test. So what had she changed? Her breakfast. Every morning, she blended a banana with Greek yogurt and a spoonful of flaxseed. That's it. No powders. No supplements. Just 3 things she already had in her kitchen. And within a month, she wasn't just moving better. She was smiling again. Fully. Freely. This kind of smoothie. It's a game changer for anyone who wants to age without feeling old. Let's take a closer look. Bananas are rich in potassium, a key mineral for heart health, muscle contraction, and nerve function. Plus, they're a natural source of energy without the sugar roller coaster. Greek yogurt provides protein, calcium, and probiotics to support gut health and muscle maintenance. The protein keeps you feeling full, stabilizes blood sugar, and supports recovery from daily wear and tear. And flaxseed? That little spoon carries omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, and lignans that reduce inflammation and support joint function. Together, these ingredients don't just nourish your body. They send a message: you're supported. You're giving your joints a break. You're feeding your muscles. You're caring for your gut, which affects everything from immunity to mood. And here's the beautiful part. It's so easy, so tasty. It feels more like dessert than a health habit. Who would have thought a single glass could say so much? But this one does. It says, "You've got this." No motivational speech needed. Just sip and feel it. Want to try it? Here's a quick recipe. A 1 ripe banana. A 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, unsweetened is best. A 1 tablespoon of flaxseed. A splash of water or milk, whichever you prefer. Blend it all. Serve cold or at room temperature. Want to take it a step further? Add a pinch of cinnamon or a drop of vanilla for extra comfort. In under 5 minutes, you've got a glass full of feel-good energy. The kind that makes you want to open the windows, get up out of that chair, and take the reins back. Because this is about more than movement. It's about ownership. Empowerment. That quiet moment when you realize, I can change how I feel. And listen, this tiny habit could be just the beginning. Because there are people out there rediscovering the joy of being alive before they've even brushed their teeth. One of them is Clara. Clara had always taken pride in her appearance. The kind of woman who matched her shoes to her scarf, who smiled in the mirror each morning with quiet elegance. But one day, she realized something had shifted. She couldn't button her blouse without help. And that broke her heart. Because sometimes it's not the big things that hurt the most. It's the little ones. That moment when your hands don't listen the way they used to. That pause where you have to ask someone for help with something you once did without thinking. That's when her daughter suggested something simple. A warm morning drink. Just water, lemon, honey, a dash of collagen powder, and a tiny Indian fruit called amla, a little powerhouse of vitamin C. Clara was skeptical at first, but she figured it's warm, it's gentle, and it's easy. So she gave it a try. A few weeks later, there she was, wearing a brand new blouse, buttons done all the way up, and a sparkle in her eyes that hadn't been there for a while. Because sometimes a warm cup can feel like a warm hug from the inside. That drink, it's like an act of self-love, starting from the inside out. And what matters most, that it reminds your body how to produce collagen again. That means firmer skin, stronger joints, better digestion, and most of all, a renewed sense of vitality. But for Clara, this wasn't just about health. It became her morning ritual, a quiet moment before the world starts. A pause to say, today I choose to care for myself because I'm worth it. That's something we don't say to ourselves enough. But this simple drink, a warm blend of lemon, honey, collagen, and a touch of amla, became her daily reminder that her story wasn't over. That vitality wasn't something you lose forever. It's something you can gently invite back, one choice at a time. Want to try it? Here's the simple recipe. Half a cup of warm water. Juice from half a lemon. a teaspoon of honey, a scoop of collagen powder. And if you can find amla powder, just a pinch or substitute with camu or acerola for similar benefits. Stir gently. Sip slowly. Feel how it warms your chest, your hands, your belly. Because this isn't just about aging well. It's about living fully. With grace. With kindness. With lightness. It's about reclaiming what time tried to steal, not with resistance, but with wisdom. Because the older we get, the more we understand that true strength doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from aligning with what our body truly needs. And sometimes it's not a radical transformation. Sometimes it's a better breakfast. A choice made quietly at the kitchen counter. With care. With presence. And with the soft hope that maybe, just maybe, today will feel a little better than yesterday. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stopped to think about all the things you've stopped doing? Not because you didn't want to, but because your body just didn't have the strength. Climbing stairs, tending the garden, going for a walk with your grandchild, wearing your favorite shoes, dancing when your favorite song comes on. These aren't luxuries. These are the little joys that keep us connected to ourselves, our memories, our essence. And all of that, it can return, not through miracles, but through small, intentional choices. Because how you start your day can become the thread that pulls you into a brand new chapter. One filled with energy, independence, and joy. A chapter where you don't just exist, you participate. A chapter where aging isn't something that happens to you, but something you navigate with wisdom, softness, and clarity. So tell me, which one of these breakfast ideas will you try tomorrow? Which one feels like that first step toward a lighter, stronger, more vibrant life? Because if you've made it this far, it's because that spark is still alive inside you. That deep desire to feel strong again, to live with ease, to age with grace, without apology, without fear. And let me tell you something, with all the love in my heart, it's never too late. I've seen people reclaim their lives at 70, at 80, even at 90. And you know what they had in common? They didn't give up. They didn't let stiffness or weakness or a number define them. They chose to listen to their bodies, to nourish them, to move with them, and to trust the slow, steady return of strength. Because sometimes healing doesn't look like a leap. It looks like a spoonful of oats, a slice of avocado on toast, a sip of warm broth, hands wrapped around a cup. It looks like quiet mornings where your body says, "Thank you," and you feel it in your bones, your breath, your balance. So take that first step. Leave a comment below. Share how your mornings are about to change, which recipe you'll try, what you're hoping to feel again. Because when you speak it out loud, it becomes real. And maybe, just maybe, your story will inspire someone else to take back their life too. And if you're ready to keep learning how to grow older without growing old, without becoming a prisoner of pain, pills, or limitations, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. There's so much more ahead. We'll explore gentle movements that unlock your joints, natural ways to boost energy without caffeine, the truth about protein after 60, how to protect your bones with food, simple habits that help prevent falls, the emotional side of aging, and how to meet it with compassion. Because the journey isn't over. It's evolving, and there's still time to make it beautiful, one peaceful morning at a time. So here's to you, to the next bite, the next step, the next sunrise that greets a stronger, more vibrant version of you. Because the best part, it can all begin tomorrow.